What's going on, everyone? LeoBlade13 here, bringing you our first Let's Talk, talking about the Oath of Blood cards that are coming out. And I said I was going to do it a little bit differently this time. I said I was going to start with the Elder Dragons, but clearly that's not happening. So, Elder Dragon video will be up later this week, but today I just wanted to go through and talk about all the red cards that have been revealed. So, the ones that I have screenshots are, we do have 4 of them. Let me know down below if I missed any, but I'm pretty sure I got them all. And make sure to check out Dragoborne.com. If I'm not actively posting videos, they will actively be uploading stuff. So if you don't see anything from me, go check them out because they're sure to have all the information. And since I can't use my computer, none of the tags or descriptions will be there, but I will make sure to leave that link down below. But anyways, let's jump into this because it has been quite a while since I've given you guys some video with some actual content. So first up, we have Gear Magnus Saboteur. He's a 2-drop red creature with 2 attack, 2 endurance. So great first turn play, maybe played alongside a Goblin Madcap. But his ability is when this creature is destroyed, choose an opposing creature and deal 2 damage to it. So early game, your opponent's really not going to want to attack into the fort that this card is at. Similarly to a Goblin Madcap, so if you could open with both of those cards and then roll like a 6, I don't think your opponent's going to be wanting to do anything on their first turn. So I do really like this card. I feel like it does offer something new, rather than Goblin Madcap, who has to attack in order to destroy something. I mean, Sarg does kind of do this, by dealing 1 damage to everything, but I think that 2 damage is going to be really important because we do see a lot of creatures that can dodge Carefree Orc by Drago crossing themselves, but those creatures like Fleetwing Sprite are going to be destroyed if they're Drago crossed by his effect because it does that extra damage. So I do really like this card and hope that it does get used once Oath of Blood is officially out. Next up, we've got Zazas Mechanized Fury, who is a 7-cost red creature, and he's a machine dragon. So I think that's pretty cool. He's got 7 attack and 7 endurance, and his ability is when this creature attacks, you may choose X machines from your discard pile and put them on the bottom of your deck. If you do, choose an opposing fort and deal X damage to all creatures of that fort, and if this creature is Drago Cross Red, deal X damage to all opposing Drago shields. So this card is pretty amazing. I do like how it's going to be revolving around machine rather than a color. They're actually using those creature types, which I think is pretty cool. And this card can do massive damage to creatures at a fort while destroying multiple Drago shields. So I think that is pretty sweet. Fafnir is the only other creature that can do that right now, and he only destroys 1 creature and 1 shield, provided they're under 5 endurance. But I think this card just offers a little bit more, and of course it does have slightly higher cost, and you do have to have machines in your discard pile. So I don't know if you want to play this with like black or blue or something that'll let you cycle through your cards and get them into this card pile so you can use this effect, because I don't know how recent games have been going, but for me, I usually end up with about 4-ish creatures in the graveyard once we reach the end game, so I don't know how relevant his effect is actually going to be, but still, doing 4 damage to all Drago shields is pretty huge. I don't know if this card is going to end up replacing Zarko. It does have the same cost with a little bit better of an effect, but I think Zarko being able to spread that damage across the board rather than at 1 fort does make him just a little bit better in terms of that. But with Zazas being able to destroy Drago shields, I think he may end up pushing Zarko out of the meta. But let me know what you guys think about this card. I think this might be seeing something. Next up, we have Sudden Eruption, which is my favorite card that has been revealed so far. It's a 2-drop red spell, which says deal 1 damage to all creatures, and you may siphon 1. If you do, deal 1 damage to all creatures. So if your opponent goes first, sets up a board, like maybe like 2 Fleetwing sprites or something, you can play sudden Eruption and destroy both of them. So I think that is awesome. The one downside is obviously that it does damage your own creatures, much like Death and Decay. But I mean, this card is still has a lot of potential. I mean, we've seen Death and Decay being used in quite a few decks that run black, and especially in the sideboard. And I feel like red getting a similar thing is really awesome. And I feel like this is gonna end up as like uh I lost the words. This is gonna end up as like a 2 of in any deck, and maybe even like a sideboard card. But still, this card is awesome. And our final card for today is Grimblade Fighter. I was doing so well at the beginning of the video, but now I just can't speak. This is a 4-drop red card with 5 attack and 1 endurance. So I really don't like that 1 endurance because like Carefree Orc can come through and pop him, or even that first card that we looked at. If he gets destroyed, he can destroy this card. But 5 attack is pretty huge. It does remind me a lot of Hidden Blade, which really wasn't used too much, even though it was a Fort Burst. But this card does go really nicely in a black deck, because his ability is when this creature is summoned, if you have a black creature, choose an opposing creature and deal 2 damage to it. If that creature was destroyed by this effect, your opponent discards a card from their hand. So I do kind of like this card. I think there are better options for making your opponent discard, which we have like Flesh Shredder, or some that we're going to be discussing in later videos, but I do really like the synergy that this has with a black discarding deck. And once we move on to talking about the Elder Dragons, you probably know what I'm talking about already, but I think that a black hand control deck is going to be huge once Oath of Blood comes out. So really stock up on ramp cards like Fleetwing Sprite and Red Fang, because I feel like black-green is going to kind of take control. And like I said, I don't really know where the meta stands right now. It's something I'm going to have to delve into in my free time, or maybe you guys can talk about it down below, and it'll give me something to either talk about or at least refresh my knowledge. But yeah, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. That way you can know whenever I post videos, because the schedule is kind of whenever I post videos, so it's not really set. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. But as always, thanks for watching.